Shalom. I'd like to start off this video by giving all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Echad Kadosh. Give all honors to my teachers, the elder apostles and elder bishops, a great millstone, teaching and ruling well. These salutations and blessings unto the hopeful elect. Alright. So Lord willing, this will be edifying. Lunch break lesson. Alright, let's get straight into it. It says here in Nahum 1:9, what do ye imagine against the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua? He will make an utter end. Okay? Affliction shall not rise up a second time. What is the affliction? Okay, the captivity of Israel. Okay, the captivity of these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and those that have been scattered among the nations. Okay, the captivity is for this time. Okay, as it says, bear with me. Where's that one? Says here, Lamentation 4 and 21. No. Yeah, okay. It says here, Lamentation 4 and 21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom. Okay, so you Edomites, okay, so-called white man, so-called white nation, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. And what is that cup? Slavery, oppression, okay, abasement, all right, shame. You see, that's that cup. Okay, the cup also shall pass through unto thee, and thou shalt be drunken, and shall make thyself naked in the sense that all your sins are uncovered before not only Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, but also the world. As it says, you shall have shameful spewing instead of glory. For glory you shall have shameful spewing. So everything that you were boasting about is going to be made known how you were made to acquire it through lies, deception, and thievery. Okay? So the people are going to come to find out that that's the people that you are. Okay? The wicked that the Bible speaks of. Okay? The nation against whom the Lord has indignation with forever. Okay? So it says here, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, to Zion. Okay, so again, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, our punishment is coming to an end. Okay, as it says, he will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. So again, at Yahweh Shai's return, we will no longer know evil. We will no longer know pain. They will no longer know defeat in the sight of these other nations. Okay, our punishment is come to an end. The reason why we're in the lowest state in this wicked kingdom is again for our transgressions. Okay, by Yahweh Shai's return, we shall be changed. Okay, we will have a forgiveness of said transgressions through the blood of Yahweh Shai. Okay, so that being said, we will no more be under the oppression of our enemies. All right, the Lord will make us become the tail and not the head. I said like it. The Lord will make us to be the head and not the tail. All right, so let's get into it. So again, these nations, they will not rise up another time against the kingdom of Yashar Allah when the Lord has established the rightful rulers into that position, the profitable ones. Okay, starting with Yahweh Shai. It says here, let me see. Tears. So it says here in Revelation. It says here in Revelation 21. Yeah, it's got to be circumspect, man. Watch your surroundings. Anyways, it says here in Revelation 21 and 3, and it reads, "And I heard a great voice out of the heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of the Most High is with men, with the Israelites. Okay? And he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And the Most High himself shall be with them, and be their power. And the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain. For the former things are passed away." The former things, all these evils that we have to endure, is things of this side. Okay? And again, that's really pertaining to the Israelites. And again, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, this blessing is only for us, not for the entirety of the world. Because again, these other nations are not going to be under the new covenant, the second covenant. They're not going to be covered by the blood of Yahweh Shai. Okay? They're still going to be in sinful flesh. And that is why Israel, okay, are going to be the mediators between Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and the nations. That is why the nations will have to come to us to learn the ways of the Most High. Okay? You see? They'll have to come to us to finally serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay? As it says, here we go. Isaiah 2 and 3. And it reads, I'll start at 2. Isaiah 2 and 2. "And it shall come to pass in the last days," okay, and we're coming into those days, okay, where the nations are going to come to find out, well, after the destruction of this wicked kingdom, after Yahweh Shai has established Israel as the ruler, as the rulers of the kingdom to come, as it says, "It shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it." So what does that mean? Mountain, hill, you see? It's hip talk for government, okay? For governments, okay? How the government of Yashar Allah, okay, the Israelites, are going to be over all these other nations. So America, Russia, China, Japan, Iran. You see, all these nations are going to be below the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You see? Okay? And they shall flow to it. They'll have to come to us. Alright? It's for one of all things. Because we're going to be in rulership. Alright? It says here, "And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us of his ways, and he will walk, and we will walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, from Jerusalem." Okay, so again, these nations will have to come to us to properly serve Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, because again, the second covenant, one of the stipulations of the second covenant is that we're going to have the law, statutes, and commandments in our inward parts. Okay, the Lord is going to give us a heart of flesh. Okay, it's going to change our programming so that we can inherently keep the law, statutes, and commandments to a perfection, just as it's unconscious for us to breathe or for your heart to beat. Okay, it's going to be the same way for us to do the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. The Lord will change us. And that change is solely for the Israelites, as I aforementioned before. These other nations will not partake into that union. They will not partake into that connection between Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. They'll have to come to us to even get closer to the Lord. You see? So, yeah. So again, bringing it back to the point that affliction not rising up again. It says here, I believe, it says here, verse 4, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people. They shall beat their swords and plowshares. It's like they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword again against. Nation shall not lift up swords against nations, neither shall they learn war anymore. And why is that? Because there's not going to be no point for them to learn a war anymore, man. Okay? The nations are going to be in total submission, total subjection to the children of Israel. Okay? You see? Because again, another part of the covenant is that the Lord is going to give us immortality. And you cannot fight against an immortal being. Okay? There is no point into fighting against an immortal being, man. Okay? These nations are going to understand that. Okay? They will not see the purpose. They will not find the purpose of fighting against the men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, the children of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, because again, the Lord is going to make us to be gods on the earth, man. Okay? And just as it says, we shall be like him on his appearance. Okay? Says here, 1 John 3:2, Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be. Okay, right now we don't know what we're going to look like. But we know that when he shall appear, meaning Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai is going to pierce the cloud and return, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. We shall be like him. All right, we're going to be changed, as it says, in the twinkling of an eye. Okay, once we get beamed up, Lord willing, we're a part of that number. Once we get beamed up, okay, we're gonna change. We're gonna transition we're gonna put off the mortality and put on immortality. We're gonna go from being mortal men to immortal men. You see, we're gonna put off those chain of darkness, which is the flesh. Okay, we're gonna put those off, man. Okay. And at that moment, we'll be just as Yahweh Shai. Okay, and the power that Yahweh Shai has, we're going to have, to a certain level, the same power. Okay? You see? And just as it says, pertaining to 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, let's get into it. 2nd Ezra 13, pertaining to Yahweh Shai's return. And I'm going to go straight to the point with it. It says here, let me see. It says here, 2nd Ezra 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Okay, so those are the men who were gathered together to fight between each other during World War III. And at the appearing of Yahweh Shai, they're gonna stop fighting amongst each other and turn around and try to subdue Yahweh Shai. Okay? And it says, and after this, so yet they were afraid. Okay, they were afraid, and they durst fight, because the Lord is gonna put that spirit in them to desperately struggle against the Lord, man. Okay? Even they were afraid because they never seen power, as it says, "You shall not meet thee as a man." They're gonna acknowledge the power. They're gonna see it, but in their foolishness, okay, they're still gonna believe that they can do something against the Lord, man. But it says what? Your horses are flesh, okay, and not spirit, okay. You see, so it's vain. It's vain. It's a vain idea to believe that you're going to be able to fight against the Most High, man, against Yahweh Shai, okay? Because it says what? Let the potsherd fight among the potsherds, okay? You see? So they're gonna witness it, and the world is gonna witness Yahweh Shai's power because it's gonna be televised, Lord willing. I speak as a man, but I'm pretty sure, because again, Yahweh Shai's return, all eyes shall see him. So whether it's televised or not, everyone's gonna know that Yahweh Shai is here. They're gonna feel it in the spirit through it. They're gonna feel Yahweh Shai's presence through the spirit. Okay, the world, as the time itself will stop at that time. Okay, at the return of Yahweh Shai. Okay, and it says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. And he fell with violence upon the multitude, which was prepared to fight, and burned them up everyone, so that upon the sudden an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So you see, even the power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai frightened Esdras. You see, Esdras was frightened, man. Okay, he didn't know what to say. You see? So again, Yahweh Shai came and he did a spiritual Kamehameha wave on these heathens, and they became dust, man. Okay, he pulverized them. Okay, you see, and that's just Yahweh Shai. Not to say just Yahweh Shai, not to diminish him. Okay, but again, that was only Yahweh Shai in that moment. So imagine now how the elect, starting with the elect, they're gonna be changed, man, and have similar powers. Okay, so now it's not just one. You're dealing with 144,000. Okay, and let's not to mention the great multitude. Okay, so that's an army of mini Yahweh Shais, man. Okay, an army of mini Yahweh Shais. You think in your mind you think these nations are gonna want to fight? No, man. Even if they have an idea, inkling in their minds to rebel, they're gonna rebuke themselves, man. Okay, they're gonna be very spiritual in that time, man. The nations are going to be truly spiritual in that time. Just the idea of rebuking or rebelling, so like of rebelling against the Lord, man, they're going to rebuke each other, man. You see? So again, affliction will. There's not going to be talk of affliction rising again. Oh, the Russians came back in power, because again, we have to realize that they all their weapons, all their instruments of war, they're gonna turn them into instrument of agriculture. Okay, so there's not gonna be like what they're gonna rise up with what they're gonna see that there's no hope. There's no hope into fighting against the sons of the Most High, man. Okay, let me see. Let's see. It says here in Isaiah 60. No. Isaiah 60 and verse 21. It says here, thy people also shall be all righteous. Thy people, the Israelites, are going to be all righteous because their programming is going to be changed so that they can only keep the law, statutes, and commandments. All right? And it says what? They shall inherit the land forever. Not just for a moment, and then the second they're going to rebel, the nations are going to rebel, they're going to lose their power, and then you have to wait again. No, man. Okay? We're going to obtain the land forever. Okay? The branch of my planting, the work of my hand, that I may be glorified. And the little one shall become 1,000, and a small one, a nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time. Okay. Let me see. It's not really that one, but again, if one becomes becomes 1,000, so that's 1,000 mini Yahweh Shais, man. Okay. Let's see. It's not that one that I wanted. Flight. Is it this one? No. Let me see. Real time. Yeah, I can't find it. Now let me see. Let me close out with this. So again, the foolishness of these people claiming that there's going to be another revolution, a rebellion, and the heathens shall get to rule again after Yahweh Shai comes and pierces the cloud. That's complete madness, man. It says here, Isaiah 9, and I'll start at 6. For unto us a child is born, for unto us, the Israelites, okay? Not the whole world, okay? For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace. Okay? Of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end. There shall be no end. So from the day that Yahweh Shai establishes the kingdom of heaven on earth, it's the peace, the serenity, the order is going nothing but increase, man. It will increase, man. And of course, at first, we'll have to beat the nations into submission, okay? Make them understand that there's no hope for them to go against us, okay? We'll have to, it says what, he'll give us the necks of our enemies, okay? We'll break them down, man, okay? To the point where they understand that, yo, these are our masters, these are our lords, and we best obey them, okay? And it says here, and upon the throne of David, and upon his kingdom to order it, and to establish it with judgment and with justice from henceforth, even forever, okay? The zeal of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai of hosts will perform this. So that is the intention of the Lord, man, okay? So again, when he will do such a thing, the earth is going to be in a state of it's going to be in a better state, let's say that, okay? The nations are going to be in order. Yashar Allah is going to be in order. And the earth shall flourish. It's going to revert into a state of Eden, a state of paradise, as it once was in the time of Adam. Alright? So again, affliction shall not rise up a second time, man. Alright? So anyone saying otherwise is a fool. You see? Anyone saying otherwise is a fool. Alright? So Lord willing, this was edifying. Until next lesson, shalom, shalom, shalom.